Attendance at school is usually considered mandatory or something that people are graded on. And in other ways, it is sometimes boasted about with perfect attendance records getting awards or something like that. This shouldn't be, especially during modern times. For disabled kids, it teaches them to ignore the physical health, the mental health, and also skipping school can be a learning experience because when you skip school, you might be learning something outside of school that you can't learn at school. You might be taking time off for your mental physical health so you can better learn it later on, or so you're less overwhelmed and you can more absorb the information more easily. Or it can be that you're just being healthy, you're building up resistance so you can, when you go back, you're in a better place. So besides all that, for the health reasons, for the learning reasons, for disabled people, it could also be that you have reasons that it can exclude religions because maybe you have been fasting a lot or something and then you had to go to school, or for some religious exercises. And yes, I'm Jewish, and yes, school has gone away with a couple holidays and stuff, even though with the religious freedom and everything. So religiously exclusionary, it can exclude people that have a need to work or have family issues with a working family and stuff like that. And beyond all this stuff that I've just managed to say out loud right now, that is about how it's exclusionary, it promotes people. You might be like, okay, it's not a big deal if they miss a couple times, as long as that it's not a big part of the grade. Well then, if you have rewards, you're still rewarding this behavior which is very bad, and people start looking up to that, and people start expecting it as with adults that they perfectly attended no matter what, no matter the disability or anything, and people ignore their own issues, and people ignore other people's issues unless they're accommodating. Now, there are some issues with certain classes that are discussion based or more other based in doing stuff in class. But we're moving more and more towards a society where that isn't important. If a class is fully test and quiz based, why be there? And also, there can be alternative assignments. As long as you pass it, you pass it. And having more classes like that and having a pathway like that could help a lot of disabled kids that are not present as much, where they could just do testing and test their way out of stuff. Now, you also need in practice with skills, with communication skills, social skills, and stuff like that. But you could instead do written assignments, PowerPoints, recordings, and other things to present, online forums, things that do not require people to be as physically present. Now, a huge issue with what I just said, though, that I will say is fair, is that not all people have technological access. This is true, it's not a perfect system. So for those kids, they would still have to attend school, but for many kids, it would help. And for those kids, this lack of technological access is hurting everyone, and which instead of preventing this system, just give more kids access to technology. That means better internet everywhere. That means not only better internet everywhere, we maybe even giving out cheap electronics to everybody. And if you have cheap electronics for everyone, the other electronics have to compete with a fancier bottom line. If you make stuff really ridiculously cheap, which I think you can do, and so on and so on. Because having lack of access to technology now is a lack of access to the job market, information, and mental health market, and much more. Well, thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year and 4,000 watch hours, which is really, really hard. But with your help, I think you can do it. Also, if you have any ideas for future videos, comments, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And finally, if you know my DM, feel free to DM me, but I just don't want to widely give out my DM. Thank you very much again. Goodbye.